Hi, thanks for stopping by. I'm Rob and this is Tinkerneering. My local hobby store was having a clearance sale and I picked up this bag of laser cut shapes. Taking the largest pieces, I used them to make this custom tabletop game. Let me show you how. I've had a spark of an idea in the back of my mind for a while now, and this was an opportunity to explore that without spending too much money. I was introduced to the awesome board game Tsuro a couple of years ago by some very good friends of mine. This is a line building tile game for up to 8 players. There are 36 square pieces which fit onto a 6x6 playing board. This is a great game if you've got a lot of players, but the board can look a little empty if you're just playing for 2, but there are no instructions to play a solitaire version. In contrast to this, I've also played the online game Entanglement. This uses hexagon shaped tiles, and like before, each side has an in and an out point. This scores over Tsuro as it includes both solitaire and multiplayer games. And being an online game, you can also swap in different shaped playing boards. What I was aiming for was a simple game that's easy to set up, that you can play on your own or against an opponent. These are the largest of the laser cut shapes. Using my digital calipers, I found their exact measurements. As the plan was to laser engrave onto them, I reopened the SketchUp file from one of the custom jigs that I'd made for my super carver when I was making those custom ink stamps. Using the measurements from the piece, I added a hexagon of the right size and sent it to the 3D printer. And this is the jig that I created. The jig is showing a little wear and tear from where it's been used. I lift the magnetic base out of the laser engraver and fit the jig over the top with a satisfying snap. The laser cut shapes then snugly press fit inside. Now I just need to decide what to engrave onto the pieces. I decided to go with just one connection on each face to keep things simple, and the straight line through connection is the simplest. As this is a hexagon, the other faces connect at 60-degree angles either side of the centre. This would be a combination piece of 2 connecting crossed lines. And a piece with 3 lines would look like this. What about a line with a bend that exits the piece on the side next to straight through? This is simple enough to figure out based on 2 straight lines that meet in the middle. Only I didn't want them to meet in the middle, so I trimmed the corner a little. The same went for a line that exits on the side adjacent to the one that it entered on. This is built the same way, with the corner lopped off too. Using this pattern, I only needed to design 3 line styles. These are saved as 500 by 500 pixel bitmaps and loaded one at a time into the engraver to burn onto the hexagon blanks. In total, I needed to run this process 36 times, as there are 7 pieces that only have straight lines on them, 8 with a bend that exits next to straight on, and 9 pieces that have a line that comes out adjacent to where it comes in. Most of the pieces need to be engraved multiple times. This is made easy using the jig, as it takes less than 15 seconds to remove and reinsert a tile at the correct position and then run the machine again. This tile uses the adjacent line 3 times, each with a 120-degree turn between passes. In total, there are 17 pieces, each with a unique combination of lines. The These first 10 pieces use only one line style. The remaining 7 tiles use a mix of styles. I then created a second set of tiles and added a hexagon to the reverse side of the duplicate set. Here are all 34 tiles, and I now needed a board to play them on. Flipping them over to show just the reverse sides, I sorted them into each kind. I wanted to make a regular pattern, so started joining the pieces together around a central tile. I extended this to use up more of the tiles and found I was pretty close to using them all up. So to try and make them meet in the middle, I went for an asymmetric pattern, but this wasn't quite right. Shuffling the tiles slightly, I ended up with 2 identical shapes that could be slid together. I rendered this off camera and printed it out to paper. I also ordered some meeple from Board Game Extras, as they had a wide range of colours to choose from. So now I can have each player starting in the extra home position at either end of the board. The design was pretty much done at this point. I just needed a name for the game. I've done something similar to this before when I was writing mobile apps for a living and needed to come up with a Google whack. Using Google Translate, I started looking at words that describe the game. Now if you want to discuss the merits of using Google Translate, there's a space in the comment section reserved just for you. I started with line. This is the thing that we use to play with. And then race, as we're in a race to beat the other player by surviving longer or making it to their home position before they reach ours. Picking the language Esperanto, I translated the phrase line race, and this came out as linio vetkura. Translating back, I realised that this translates into line racing. So being blunt, I hacked the vet prefix off the second word and found that linio kura would translate back into line race, and that would be fine. Now I just have to decide if it's linio kura or liniokura. Harry Potter fans will find a space in the comment section reserved for you too. So here is the game board. 34 tile spaces with 2 home positions. Players take turns to flip over a tile. They use that to move their piece forward until they reach the other player's home position or they run out of spaces to move to. Last player standing wins. I think the paper playing surface is going to be fine for now, but I do want to come back and make a more permanent board for the game. I just hope it doesn't take me as long as it took Steve Ramsey to complete his chess set. Now if you're interested in owning your own copy of this, please let me know in the comments, as I'm seriously considering developing this further, and that would give me the push to learn the extra skills that I need to do that. But for the time being, I've made printable copies of the playing surface and all 17 pieces available for download on the website. There's a link for that in the description. That's all for now though. I hope you've enjoyed this project, and if you have, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe, and if you haven't already done so, ring the notification bell to receive an alert when I upload future project videos. If you'd like to, you can contact me on social media. There's links to that in the description below, where you'll also find information about my Patreon page. There you'll be able to get early access to all my project work and also help this channel to grow. So, thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you soon.